supposed to stop that?
Hold on! We going wild. We on the...
Really? Duct tape? You acting like we on our way to Home Depot.
Hunter! No, Trent! Ah! I don't want to die!
Welcome back. This is going to be my new Fast and Furious 9 trailer video. It's as big and ridiculous as you would expect it to be. There's all kinds of Easter eggs and references, characters coming back from old movies, big twists, so we'll break it all down. If you're brand new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to get all the videos. People are telling me that John Cena is apparently in the movie, but I can't see him anywhere in the trailer.
Are you sure about that?
Everyone post all your jokes in the comments below. I'm sure there's going to be plenty of those when the movie actually comes out. I think probably some of my favorite WTF moments from this trailer are them actually going to outer space. Like the joke at the beginning of the trailer with the car and the spaceship that little Brian is playing with is to foreshadow that they're actually doing the meme. Like the producers of the movie, Vin Diesel, are like, yeah, we saw all your Avengers Infinity War, Thanos jokes and memes about the Fast and Furious family battling in a car race in outer space to save the universe, and the joke's on you, cause we're totally doing the space thing. Then at the end of the trailer, they pay that off with Ludacris and Tyrese just screaming their heads off as the rocket car detaches from the shuttle and activates its rocket boosters, that's built by Brian and the Tokyo Drift crew that they brought back. Even Bow Wow is back for this movie, and just to give you an idea, context for how long it's been, he was still called Lil Bow Wow when Tokyo Drift came out. Obviously the biggest twist here is them bringing Han back, hashtag justice for Han paid off. Don't worry, we'll talk about that, because there are all kinds of theories about how they're explaining Han coming back in this movie. And as crazy as you would think, it's probably some of the least crazy twists that actually happen in the movie. That's the whole point of the franchise. Like, you thought the last movie was crazy, hold all our beers, which are Coronas, notice they all drink Coronas in all these movies, because we're going even crazier in the sequels. And if you guys didn't see the news, they're actually taking another page from Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame. I mean, we have Vin Diesel coming from the Marvel Universe. This is like his other big franchise that's almost as big as the MCU, it seems. Fast 10 was going to be their last movie in the franchise. They were just going to cut it at an even 10 movies. It's been going for forever, so it makes sense. 10 movies, that's a pretty solid run. But when they were planning the next film, Fast 10, they decided that they wanted it to be even bigger, so they're breaking it into two parts. Like Avengers Infinity War used to be part 1 and part 2, but then they made part 2 Avengers Endgame. So that last movie will technically be Fast 11. They didn't say exactly when that's coming out because everything got delayed with the virus, but it won't be called Fast 11. They'll just call it something else, like the final fate of the Furious. You can post all your theories in the comments about what you think they're actually going to call that last one. But they also have a bunch of new footage of Paul Walker that they worked in with his son, Jack, from the franchise, who would be even older than little Brian at this point, technically. Dom's secret love child with Elena. Don't worry, there's so many twists. Like I said, twist upon twist upon twist. And we haven't even gotten to Dom's brother, John Cena, yet. It's a little bit like the Spaceballs meme, my sister's brother's cousin's mother's sister's roommate. But there's a line in the trailer about how they're a family, they always come back together. That's a reference to them bringing back pretty much every single person who's ever been in a Fast and Furious movie for these last few ones in the franchise. I'm sure they'll even bring back The Rock and Jason Statham from the spin-off movies once he and Vin Diesel make nice again and put their beef aside. It is pretty conspicuous that you don't see The Rock amongst all these other characters. They brought Han back from the dead, so to speak, at least metaphorically, but they didn't bring The Rock for this movie. You notice that they've gone back to Dom's home from the first Fast and Furious movie, like this home in California. Remember, they were living on the DL because they made hundreds of millions of dollars from one of their big heists, but then eventually they decided that they needed to go home, quote unquote. So a lot of what the family did in the last few films was to clear their names so that they would be allowed by the government to actually come back to California without being arrested on sight. Obviously, the whole twist here is that Charlize Theron's character is still supposed to be somewhat of the overarching villain of the series, and she's roped in Jacob, John Cena, Dom's brother from the past that we didn't know about till now. And whatever their evil plan is what brings the family back together to fight them. Although it does seem like the only reason why Charlize Theron's character brings Dom's brother back is to take him out of the equation. Like whatever she's trying to do, he's the only person who could stop her and bring the family back together. It does seem like Dom sacrifices himself earlier in the movie to save Letty and believe he's dead for a little while, so you have a lot of action with Letty and the other characters where Dom isn't around. But because of the way they cut the trailer, it's a little confusing because you see Dom working with a lot of them fighting against his brother Jacob. So either this happens earlier in the movie and then he rejoins the family later, or this big twist where he sacrifices himself is one of the cliffhangers that they end the movie on and then they bring him back during Fast 10. Like they actually do in Avengers Infinity War Thanos snap where they seemingly kill the character off, then pull an Avengers Endgame where they bring them back in the next film. Speaking of them borrowing Marvel references and Easter eggs, they pull a Black Widow move where both he and John Cena steal each other's guns and just pull them back on each other. I believe the explainer for John Cena's character, the way they explain him being Dom's brother, is that he's not his biological brother, like he wasn't born to the same mother, but as a child, he was taken in by Dom's family and became like real family. Then pretty easy prediction to make, as usually is the case in a lot of these backstories with secret brothers that you never heard about till now that they've been on the outs. They had some sort of falling out when they were younger, and then they just haven't spoken until now. Like he says, I've been living in your shadow my whole life, but now I get to be the big one. Then you can kind of tell the way they foreshadow a lot of the bigger twists later in the film with some of these early action scenes. Like we have flying cars here, as you see John Cena's character drive his car right off of the cliff, then get caught by the plane. It seems like they're using that action scene to sort of set up the twist later in the trailer also, with them using the rocket car in low orbit. I don't know if they actually take the car into space, but it does seem like they're in low orbit, like hey, we're almost in space. Then just talking more about Han's character, hashtag justice for Han, it seems like they're back in Tokyo here, like where Letty is fighting these other characters where Dom is not around, but it seems like this is where they bring back Han's character and the Tokyo Drift characters. Like, okay, we're gonna go to Tokyo so that we can grab these characters and explain how they come back into the story. Early predictions for how they bring Han's character back. One is obviously the idea that he just faked his death. They made it seem like Jason Statham killed him, and he went on the DL and became some sort of special agent character working for law enforcement or some other agency. Remember, the whole twist of the franchise with them bringing his character back in Fast and Furious 6 is that the events of that movie took place before the events of Tokyo Drift. So you have him with Gal Gadot's character. I'm sure they'll try to bring her back for one of these final two movies like Fast 10 or Fast 11. Then he eventually goes to Tokyo for the events of Tokyo Drift. Then obviously at the end of that film is when he's seemingly killed by Jason Statham's character, who then becomes the villain of the main franchise, but then eventually turns good, working with Hobbs' character in Hobbs and Shaw in the spin-off films. That's sort of the arc for a lot of the villains of the series, so I wouldn't be surprised, obviously, if they bring Dom's brother, John Cena's character, into the fam and he becomes a good character during Fast 10, and then eventually some other villain, some bigger villain than Charlize Theron surfaces in Fast 11, the final film, and she winds up turning good in that last film. You can almost set your watch by a lot of these twists, like new villain in the franchise, they're going to be a good character by the next film or within 2 films. You can post all your theories in the comments below, like this is Han from Tokyo Drift. It's not some secret double or some face-off situation. How do they explain him surviving the events of Tokyo Drift? But part of the beauty of the franchise is that a long time ago, they just found out exactly who their audience was and what they wanted, and they've been delivering on that each time, which is how this franchise has earned so much money and why they have earned so many sequels. Like, we know exactly what you're here for, we're gonna give it to you, and we're gonna escalate things with the next film. It's gonna get even crazier. So everyone post your favorite WTF twist from the trailer in the comments below. Is it Han coming back? Is it some of these crazy action scenes? Is it the car in space? Like, yeah, this is a joke, but joke's on you, we're doing it. But what's going to happen is my full Marvel Falcon and Winter Soldier Episode 5 video is going to post next. That'll be Friday, just like normal. There'll be a bunch of Falcon and Winter Soldier finale videos posting next week. Vin Diesel has also been teasing Guardians of the Galaxy 3. They're going to be showing up during Thor 4 Love and Thunder. We'll be getting a trailer for that sometime soon as well. While you wait for everything, click here for my brand new Falcon and Winter Soldier Episode 5 trailer video, and click here for that Thor 4 Love and Thunder first look teaser. Thank you so much for watching. Everyone stay safe, and I'll see you guys tonight.